I'm just gonna feel underneath his tummy. I always feel underneath every horse's tummy just to make sure that there's no like crusties under there or anything. I will brush lightly and respectfully underneath the horse's stomach. You always start at the front. I would never be back here and just be like, never. I always start at the front. This is a very, very sensitive area on the horse's body. And so I just want to make sure that he knows I'm down there and that I'm coming. And so I'm just very lightly just kind of brushing through there. The reason you don't start back here is because if this horse was being eaten by a mountain lion, this is where the mountain lion would go. And that's why he's sensitive, right? Because this is exactly where the mountain lion would be and where it would go. So I just want to be mindful of that when I'm working with him. Also, I just kind of want to check his areas, private areas or areas that he can't reach, and I just want to make sure that there's nothing that's like super funky in there that's going to kind of create some discomfort. And you don't need to be like I do this, you don't need to go like this, but like, just put your hand under here, feel under here, and just see, like, make sure he doesn't have anything that's going to be uncomfortable for him so that he can actually practice and do his work, because it's important that he's able to. For the intervention that I have in mind, this horse is actually not very good for this intervention. And the reason is because he is so easily abandoned. But we'll see what happens and see how he does. It might not be that great, and it might be amazing. I have no idea what's going to happen. You guys have any questions about the grooming stuff? No. That's good. And then every time I use my dandy brush, I'm always cleaning as I go because it's pointless to brush a horse with a dirty brush. It's like wooden junk. I mean, it's pointless to brush a horse anyway. Just so I'm clear on that one point, it's completely and totally pointless to do that. So if I were with a client, this would be a time for us to kind of like connect and for me to be formulating like what I'm considering doing and what I would like to do as far as our interventions go for the day, or kind of maybe what I would like to focus on. So I might have an idea about what I'd like to do, but this is really an opportunity for me to kind of like discern and be like, oh shit, today's not a good time to bring that up. Right? And so I just want to be thinking about that. And be mindful when you pick their feet, your legs are their legs, so you shouldn't be like this, you shouldn't be like this, you should just be here and holding his foot up in the way that works best for him. And the most important part is the frog, to get clean. I know, what's going on with his foot? What happened? What happened with his foot? He says, I don't know. And see how he's kind of pulling this one back further than the other?
Mm-hmm.
Just where he's comfortable. Fine.
You're so handsome, Smokey.
Hey, Smokey.
So, pay attention to your environment, be mindful, like the wind's starting to pick up. That could be something that might like freak this horse out. So again, I just want to be, aware of some of the things that might turn into a distraction.
Hi, bud.
And so see how he's off, and I'm like, nope, you don't need to do that. So as soon as he separates from me, I need to direct and guide. If I was to just allow him to walk over there and put his head over the fence, this horse is now entirely alone. He has no herd protecting him. He has no sense of safety at all. And so when I talk about abandoning horses, that's exactly it. If you have a horse who's looking off into the distance and their head is over the top, you have a problem. So you guys as clinicians, and you're not telling clients this, or you can if it's clinically relevant, but you guys as clinicians need to be drawing your horse back in and being like, what we're doing, our job's not over there, our job is right here, right now. Okay? Which right now our job is to get this tape off without cutting his name. been wanting to do this for like 2 weeks, Smokey. If you're ever doing anything like this, do not put your head over the top of a horse. You will get a broken nose and black eyes. It's only a matter of time. So notice how I'm just staying at his side and I'm just moving my body with him. To get the thing done. How are we going to do this, Smoke? He says, I don't know. He's like, this is your problem, not mine. He goes, I like the tape.
Little ponytail.
That's the tape. There we go. There we go. There's one. But notice how I'm just moving with his body.
Mm-hmm.
But if he got too dysregulated, I'm going to start directing and steering his body. And again, notice how I'm just kind of keeping my head out of harm's way. Here.
Yeah.
And notice how I don't let him walk off. He heard those horses over there and he's like, oh fuck. And I'm like, no, you don't need to worry. It's okay. We're right here. You don't need to worry about what's going on over there. And then he just like goes back to his consumption of good, really good food. He's like, I'm okay. Oh shit. Okay. You're just gonna have to look goofy. Again, I'm not gonna let him. I'm not letting this horse walk off. He does not have the bandwidth or the wherewithal to be able to withstand that. Hi. Yes, you're a good boy. Yes, you are. Alright, so I'm just going to let him finish up his stuff. So the intervention we're going to do with him today, and again, like, I don't know that I would necessarily choose this horse for this intervention. I don't know why I chose this horse for this intervention. Is going to be where you ask the clients to stand in the center of the round pen and close their eyes.
Mm.
And so we're going to do that. And so they're going to be standing in the center of the round pen. So notice. So I'm like, nope, not necessary. Nope. Nope. Oh, you got more tape. How do you have more? Where did that come from? Crap.
I got it. Oh, okay.
So, and part of the reason that he's not good at this is, again, just because he needs so much direction and guidance because he's such a crybaby. So he's such a chicken crybaby. Are you a chicken crybaby head? He says, I'm a chicken crybaby head. Chicken crybaby head. You see, you want to eat? Jesus, I didn't know you had 3 tapes. And we'll move this food bucket out of here too to do this intervention. That one wasn't hard at all. That one was okay. So notice the whinny over there, and now he's like.
Mm.
So that can, like, horses can just like human beings, they can escalate and get out of control really, really fast. And so again, like, I want to be the one to like communicate to him that he does not have anything to worry right now, and he's safe. I kind of liken it to a client who's on a 5150, right? Or somebody who walks into your office and they're like, I'm suicidal. Am I going to go, oh my God? Am I going to be like, it's okay, just leave? I would not do any of those things. And so, like, when you're interfacing with horses, I kind of liken it to that. If I have a client who comes to me and they're suicidal, I'm going to go into that. I'm going to engage that client. I'm going to talk to that client. I'm going to see if there's a safety plan that we can develop. Is there something that we can do? So again, like, you just want to be mindful of your horses that when they're dysregulated, it's the same thing as a suicidal client. And so instead of walking away, I need to go in. right? And that includes like to physical location and physical locality, right? So I need to come into this horse. Yeah. That's right, because I'm over here. Yeah, I'm over here. And he's very receptive to this. Like he's very like, you know, if I can redirect him and guide him, he's super, super receptive to it. He says, oh my gosh, I don't know. You want to try this one? All right, let's go ahead and let's grab his food and we're gonna go ahead and haul that out of here. He's already thinking about things to get wound up about.
Right? I was thinking, reminds me of Mr. Ed.
You're already thinking. You're already. I know. Stop it. You don't need to. You don't need to. It's fine.
Camera shot.
Okay, who'd like to go first? And whoever goes first, we'll leave you alone in here with Smoke. This will be interesting to see how this goes. We'll leave you alone in here with Smoke, and then the rest of us will just step out and kind of observe.
I would love to go, but I wonder if I'm,
If you're in a good space.
if I'm like, too much for him right now.
That's an interesting prospect, right? Not
Yeah.
too much for a horse. No. You're never
Uh-oh,
too much
Finn's
for-
out again.
I know, I see that. Bro.
Hi,
There's
Bob.
and I just told people to close that door. It's okay, I got it. Somebody needs to take this horse. Finn, what are you doing?
His face.
I know. Wicca, what are we doing?
He's like, I'm ready.
Oh, you come outside.
Oh.
Come on. Somebody want to grab this gate? Come on. How do you keep getting it out? You know, I mean, if I have a client who kind of brings this to the fore, right? Because like our instinct is to want to like, we want to be like, I want to protect this horse. I want to be kind to this horse. I want to do this horse. So I kind of liken it to gaslighting, right? Which we kind of identify like as a form of abuse. And so in our effort to be kind to the animal, we actually end up being abusive towards them, right? Because we're gaslighting them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Remember, thank you. Remember, he already knows. The second you got out of your car, he knew everything. So if I come in and I try to present as something other than what I am, that's where I'm going to start seeing a really dysregulated horse. If I come in and I'm like, I'm a complete and total train wreck, which he already knows to be true, then I'm going to have a much different animal that I'm going to be engaging with and interacting with. And so that's like where you guys reading the horse's body language is like so important, because the horse is going to tell you if your client is full of shit. Because your clients are going to lie to you all day, every day. They're going to lie to themselves all day, every day. And so what you want to think about is you want to just think about, like, what exactly does that look like for the horse, right? So what's happening for the horse, that they're kind of like dealing with this person who's like, oh, I can't be in my own skin right now. I can't, I can't feel my feelings. I can't have my thoughts. I can't be uncomfortable. Right? And so there's so many messages that can be associated with that. So like that fear, I think, is normal. And I think, and like I would even take this even further. So as women, we're always told that we need to be nice, that we can't be genuine, that we have to like be people pleasers, that we have to like do da 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 da. And then when we're not people pleasers and when we're not really nice, when we're not all of these things, people call us names, people call us bitches. They do all of the stuff. And notice how like kind of like the more like animated I get about this topic, the horse is like, he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, he's connecting with me. He is connecting with me. Like we are connecting over this topic, and he's kind of picking up on the fact that like I
Baby.
feel and have like a significant sense of like, you know, discomfort around this topic, and so he's picking up on that. Now, is it energetic? Absolutely, no question in my mind that it is energetic. You're being very rude, and you're fine. There's nothing over there, and so you know it's okay for him to like
food's
to
over
pick
there.
up on that and to be in that space. I know you don't like her. You don't like her at all. She's making you mad. She's making you mad. So no is the answer to your question. You're never too much for a horse. Never too much for a horse. We can only, like I said, just kind of like come in and like try to be something that maybe that we aren't, right? And it's like, it's so symbolic for every fucking thing we do.
Yeah.
All day, every day. And when you look at distress among human beings, it's not about being depressed. It's not about being traumatized. It's about feeling broken because you are depressed. It's about feeling broken because you are traumatized. It's about the judgment, the self-judgment that happens when we have all of these feelings. Or like, I haven't taken a shower in 3 days. I'm a horrible person. I had a boundary. I'm awful. Like all of the narratives that we have around this stuff, that's really ultimately like what the horse actually wants us to be in and to sit in. They want us to sit in there. And I call it basically like radical self-acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you ready to give this a shot? I know, she is messing everything up. Look at her.
Look at the side eye.
Come on.
Come on, Bee.
Yeah. Ow, ow, ow. Come on. Come on.
I'm just gonna go around the perimeter endlessly. Like I can help it.
You can go anywhere. We got rid of her, didn't we? Yeah. Good job. We chased her off. All right. Emma, you want to give it a shot? Okay, everybody else is going to step on out. And so you're going to come in the center of the round pen. Close your eyes and make sure you're in the and then you are going to, with your eyes closed, gently corner the Find the horse and move the horse. And now we're going to see why he's horrible with this intervention. She's to stand in the center of the round pen, close her eyes, turn 3 times, and with her eyes closed, she needs to find the horse
Oh, wow.
and move the horse. So he kind of did everything for her,
Yeah.
right? So, which is really interesting. Emma, you're done. Which is really interesting because didn't we just have a conversation about people pleasing and doing everything for other people and wanting to make sure that we're okay so that we're not upsetting other people? And didn't we just have that conversation? And look at what he just did.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just did everything. He stepped in and did it all for you, right? So then I can start exploring with her and asking her about relationships where maybe sometimes you've had a struggle and somebody just like steps in and does it for you. What did that do to like did that build your self-esteem? Did that, you know, create a space for you to kind of like learn something, problem solve something? Maybe you're talking to an adult who, I don't know, graduated high school and can't do basic math. And that like decreases their self-esteem and they're kind of like questioning, you know, kind of like the ethics of the fact that they graduated from high school and they can't do math. And they're like, somebody just graduated me and never bothered to take the time to teach me how to actually do this thing. Or like communication skills, that, you know, like if they're in a relationship, right? And they have things that they want to say, but there's no space for them to say it because maybe they have a caretaker in their lives who's constantly doing it for them and constantly saying the things for them. And then what does that feel like? for that individual. So like that right there, and I thought he was going to be horrible at this, and look at what he just did.
Yeah.
Right? Does anybody want to give it a try? I'll give it a go. All right, let's go on in. That's a good job. Wither's right at the bottom of his nose. So where his nose is, you're going to start. You did a good job. Smoky. And we can go ahead and move him. Very good. Poor Smokey. He's like, how come I'm always the host?
She said, wait, but I did it right.
You have to see the video because it was pretty cool.
One of the things that I do, and I know you're taping, but for you as the clinician, where I step back because
Okay.
he can pick up on my energy, right, and he's going to pick up on me, and so I kind of want to.
I can do it from here.
He just like he's seeking. He is just constantly seeking stability and security.
Bro,
Again.
it's the opposite.
I know, but I keep closing the kitchen door. He must be open.